Hi, fourth grade, and welcome back to Math with Mr. G. Today we're going to be continuing our work with our objective in using multiplicative comparison and multiplication in word problems. Today we're going to be looking at some more word problems that are similar to yesterday's, just to give us more practice as we move forward with these skills. As we move forward into next week, week 4, we're going to be looking at more strategies for multiplication and getting into more and more complex word problems. So let's get started with this one. The small copier makes 437 copies each day. The large copier makes 4 times as many copies each day. How many copies does the large copier make each week? Okay, this is a very simple multiplicative comparison one. So we know that the small copier makes 437 each day. The large copier makes 4 times as many. So we need to find out how much they make per day. And then notice that it says each week. Each week now then tells us that we need to multiply that times 7 to give us the total for the large copier each week. Because this one is just each day for the large copier. So it's actually going to be 2 steps to this. So let's first start by finding each day. Let's take 437 and multiply it times 4. Let's zoom in just a little bit. There we go. All right, same method as before. 4 times 7 is 28. I'm going to carry my 2 over the top. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Carry my 1 here. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Okay, so each day is 1,000. Let's try not to erase my problem. Oh, that's okay. Let's go back. Sometimes the eraser wants to erase everything. Okay, so we know there is, I'll even just do this in red so it stands out. We know that each day there is 1,748 copies. Okay, so now we need to find how much is per week. So we're going to take that 1,748 that we found per day and multiply it by 7. Oh, this doesn't want to. There we go. Times 7. Okay, 7 times 8 is 56. Carry my 5. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 5 is 33. Cross that 5 off, bringing that 3 bundle over. 7 times 7 is 49. Plus 3 is 52. Carry my 5. 7 times 1 is 7. Plus 5 is 12. And like I said in the last video and the video before that, if you are struggling with your multiplication facts, use that number tree method I showed you. That'll help a lot. Sorry about that quick break. We're having just some technical difficulties over here. Like I was saying, if you have any difficulty with multiplication or remembering multiplying facts, use that number tree method. And if you have to review that, just go back 2 episodes and rewatch that method. For the sake of time on this one, I'm not going to do it for every question. But if it seems necessary with larger numbers, I will do that. So we just saw for this one that each week we have 12,236 copies in the large copier. And I can circle that here. I can also circle that here. Great. Let's look at our next one. Okay. So here we have the question. Let's actually scroll this down a little bit. There we go. Jared sold 194 Boy Scout chocolate bars. Matthew sold 3 times as many as Jared, and Gary sold 297 fewer than Matthew. How many bars did Gary sell? Okay, this is a long one, so I'm of course going to use my cubes method. Great. Now I'm going to use my blue. And I need to circle all important numbers. So I have 194, my 3, which you notice they have in Word form, and then my 297 here. Great. Now I need to underline important measures and information. So what are we dealing with? We're dealing with chocolate bars. Matthew sold 3 times as many, so I'm multiplying, and Gary sold 297 fewer. So fewer means subtraction. Next, I need to box what we're being asked to do, like so. And now we need to eliminate. There's really not a whole lot to eliminate that's worth eliminating. Again, if this was just a little longer, I would have more to eliminate. And let's solve. Well, as always, because we're dealing with 3 people, I'm going to make myself a box, a graph, a chart, whatever you'd like to call it. Chart is probably more accurate for this, to really organize the information that I'm working with and keep track of what I've done so far and give myself a good reference, as well as anybody that might be grading this, a good reference of the work I've done so far. So I have Jared, I have Matthew, and I have Gary. Try not to think of the snail, I'm sorry, not squirrel. Snail from SpongeBob. The squirrel would of course be Sandy. So let's look. I have 194 chocolate bars for Jared. I don't have to do anything to solve that. It's already there. Okay. So let's find what we need for Matthew. He sold 3 times as many as Jared. So I'm going to take 194 and multiply it times 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry my 1. 3 times 9 is 27. Plus 1 is 28. Carry my 2. Let's rewrite that 8. It's a little messy. There we go. Okay, so 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 2 is 5. So Matthew sold 582 chocolate bars. Superb. I'm not done yet though. I need to find for Gary. So let's see what Gary has going on. So Gary sold 297 fewer than Matthew. So 582. I'm going to subtract 297. Okay. I can't subtract 2 from 7, so I need to borrow 7. That makes this now a 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. I can't do 7 minus 9, so I need to borrow from here. This is a 4. This is now a 17. 17 minus 9 is 8. 4 minus 2 is 2. So Gary has 285 chocolate bars. And that's our final answer for Gary. Okay, let's continue. Now, as always, if you have followed along for this full video, we're going to go over one of our questions from our assessment. So we have here, Andrew brought 32 brownies to the party, and Alan brought 8 brownies to the party. How many times more brownies did Andrew bring than Alan? Okay, this is another multiplicative comparison one. It's pretty short, so I don't need to cubes it. Okay, so we have 32 brownies for Andrew and Alan bringing 8 because we need to find how many more did Andrew, so that means we're putting a 32 on this side of the equation. How many times, of course, tells us multiplication. So I'm going to see what I need to multiply 8 by to get 32. If I even just skip count with my fingers, I have 8, 16, 24, 32. You could, of course, use the tree method, but this is a simple way too. If you know your 8s or any of your numbers off the top of your head, is use it on your finger. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times as many. Circle that in red, like so. Great. Of course, as always, if you need some help with this, please rewatch this video as many times as you need, or pause it at points you need to help you with the assessment or future work. You can always come back and watch us, even if you're a few episodes ahead, and reevaluate or review some important information and strategies. And as always, I look forward to seeing your work, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.